Nawalebu for the Sevu and welcome. Thank you. Uh, Chairman, CEO, my brother, former Member of Parliament, Pramod Chand, government officials, district officer, thank you for accompanying me. And special welcome to all my family members, friends, Gawasi. It's always a pleasure to be in Banwalevu. We are on a tour of the Banwalevu. We were in the West last week for budget consultation. I was here some time back, we had some quick discussions on a number of issues, and I'm pleased to see that some things that we talked about then, upgrade of the health center, I just saw that. I'm very pleased with the work that has already been done. We had some issues with the market, it's being done. I saw one already constructed. And that's how we want to run this government. We want to solve problems in an efficient, in a quick manner, and we expect our civil servants, our people who work, such as those in Fiji Rice, to make that happen. And we are confident that with the coalition government and the approach we've taken to consult people, work with them, it's going to be a very healthy partnership in delivering our services to the people. On the budget, let me just first of all clear some of the rumors and false information spread by people. Some was spread before the election, some are continuing now. Things like that people will lose their social welfare. काका चिंता में आप थे कि सोशल वेलफेयर चला जाएगा, and that students will have to start paying fees, all these things, the benefits that people were getting will be taken away. ये सब जो लोगों को मिल रहा था उसको किसी तरह सरकार हटा देगा. हम लोग इतने बेवकूफ़ नहीं हैं कि ऐसा कुछ करने वाले हैं. When we came into government, the first month before the school opened, some of you would remember that we put aside about $50 million to provide $200 per child from preschool right up to Form 7, and we were able to give $200 each to more than 214,000 students throughout Fiji, where students bought the books, pencils, stationery, bags, lunch boxes, shoes, and many of them were helped. Government is working, we are working on the budget. I'll be announcing the budget on the 30th of June. And there are a couple of things that we are looking at in that budget. We know that we have a level of debt, huge, 9 billion. But we also know that we have to spend money, we have to look after our people, we have to make sure that places like Banwalevu, where people depend on agriculture, where sugar is the main stay in many ways. We want to help and support and enhance initiatives in that area. So we need a good, balanced, अच्छी तरह से सोच कर बजट बनाना पड़ेगा। इधर हमारे ऊपर कर्जा लदा है, उसको भी देखना है, सोचना है कैसे उसको संभालते हैं। आमदनी भी सरकार को आना जरूरी है, क्योंकि अगर आमदनी नहीं रहेगा तो खर्च कैसे करेंगे। कर्जा भी लेना पड़ेगा, ऐसे नहीं कि कुछ भी नहीं लेना पड़ेगा, लेकिन कर्जा आमदनी जोड़कर तब एक्सपेंडिचर होगा पूरा, क्योंकि सभी कुछ आमदनी से नहीं होगा। तो we will have a very good balance. We will be looking at how we can collect more revenue, but we will be also looking at how to spend in key sectors. Those are three things that we would be looking at. We're also going to look at how we can cut on wastages. पैसा का जो दुरुपयोग हो रहा था, बर्बाद हो रहा था, उसको कैसे हम काबू में करें, and so that we put the money, we control wastages so that we put the money where it's needed. So all these rumor about social welfare, school fees, scholarships, these are all false, lies, malicious. In fact, if anything, social welfare will be increased. By how much? I can't tell you now. We are still working on the numbers. But that's in a nutshell about the budget. Then we are looking at specific things for Banua Levu, specific things for agriculture throughout the country. There is a big project on what we call Banua Levu Tourism Development Project, which we have almost finalized and could be signed the end of this month or July. It's a $90 million project, tourism development project, which will lead to upgrade of Lambasa Airport, Sabsabu Airport, the corridor, Lambasa se lekar Sabsabu tak, so that apart from farming, apart from agriculture, tourism व्यवसाय को भी बनवा लेबू में बढ़ाया जाए, और क्योंकि उससे लोगों को भी फायदा हुआ। Tourism development will also help connect other sectors of the economy. Coming back to rice production, which is what many of you around Dreketi, Lakutu, Bua are concerned. We've had a good discussion with Fiji Rice, with Mr. Sharma as chair, Ashrit, CEO. We want to support the farmers. We want to raise production. We know that the Agriculture Ministry needs support as well. We want to put as much as possible more money into agriculture, especially in Banua Levu, because we believe that there is a huge potential to increase rice production, to increase cane production, to look at other. We just visited the food processor, the old citrus project, Batiri, There is this huge potential there. We've discussed what are some of the things that we can do. The Agriculture Minister is focused on how we can improve the whole output in the agriculture sector. So we have talked about what is needed to raise rice production. One, farmers need more tractors, more harvesters, because that's the key. You don't have much labor, so you need tractors, you need harvesters. I can tell you that that will be provided. That will be available. We would be allocating some funding to do that. Fiji Rice will work with the arrangements and make sure that those services, tractor services, harvester services are available on time. And we are also looking at, they don't get subsidy on weedicide and fertilizers at the moment. I realize that the cost, unlike cane farmers, they get subsidy. Rice farmers don't, dalo farmers don't. So cassava farmers don't. They need fertilizer too, I'm told. We are looking at the budget to allocate certain amount of funding to see how much we can help the non-sugar जो गन्ने के अलावा खेती करते हैं उनके लिए फर्टिलाइजर और दवाई पर कुछ सब्सिडी मिले। क्या लगता है आप लोगों को? बहुत दाम है भी। So, you know, dalo farmers also need that, cassava farmers and others. So there will be, we won't be, सभी कुछ ये बजट में नहीं होगा, you know, क्योंकि we have to spend a lot of money on health, on water, roads. These things also need funding. Not everything will happen tomorrow. Not everything will happen in the next 6 months. But we have a plan to deal with those issues very carefully. Immediately, and I would like to hear from all of you. What is your concern? How we can increase rice production generally, and other types of crops that many of you plant or engage in. So that's, in a nutshell, the budget process. The government is clearly focused on bringing our people together as well. We had 2 great events recently, the Girmit Day, which is now a national public holiday. पहली बार फिजी के इतिहास में हुआ है। जैसे दिवाली, क्रिसमस, ईस्टर, प्रॉफेट मोहम्मद, उसी तरह अब गिरमिट एक राष्ट्रीय हॉलिडे की तरह मनाया जाएगा, ताकि हम अपने बाप दादों को अच्छी तरह से याद करें। इसके साथ साथ, you know, we also brought Ratu Sukuna Day back, the holiday, and it is to bring people together, is to promote our culture, promote our language. Now we can speak in Itoke and Hindi in Parliament as well. So sometimes you'll hear us speak in Hindi and Itoke. because we believe that our language is very important. So the government is not only looking at how we can provide services to the people, that's important, but also bring people together, the common vision. People are talking about VAT, some people, but from 2011 to 2016, VAT 15% tha. VAT was 15%. And all of you are paying that 15%. खाने वाली चीज पर भी थी. Then in 2000, and some of us were saying at that time it should be reduced to 10%. Then it was reduced to 9%. And then 3 years ago, 2 years ago, 2021 budget, after COVID, it was reduced from 15 to 3 rates. So there was a 15%, there was a 9%, and there was 0% on basic food item. So now we are looking at what to do with. We don't want those 3 rates. It's on a lot of the items, you are paying 15% already. Even now you are paying 15%. On some you are paying 9%. Only on food items, those 21 items, you are paying 0. So we have to work out, we are not going to have 3. We are working out now whether we should have 1 rate or 2 rates. Because if we have only 1 rate, then we get more money, we could put more money into the pockets of the people who need it. Farmers, those who have low income, older people, those on social welfare, we can increase that. Because we will get more money. So that's another argument to have only 1 rate. So don't worry about all these rumors that, oh, this government has increased the VAT to 15%. You were paying 15% before, from 2011 to 2016. Then you were paying 9%. Then you are now paying 3 rates, 15, 9 and 0. तो ये सब जो बकवास आप सुन रहे थे कि हम लोग आकर 15% कर दिए, 15% था वहां, 9% भी था, 0 भी था. क्योंकि अभी हम देख रहे हैं अच्छी तरह से कि जो 21 आइटम हैं जिस पर 0 है, उससे केवल 30% या 35% या 40% भी रख लो, लोगों को फायदा हो रहा है. जो बाकी 60% है, जिनके पास अच्छी आमदनी है, जो सिविल सर्वेंट है, हमारे जैसे लोग, प्रमोद जैसे, इनको भी फायदा हो रहा है कि चावल आटा है वो भी खरीदता है, उसको भी दान मिल रहा है. तो we have to decide whether we collect that money from him. If we have 1 rate, then everybody pays. And that 60% who pay more, that money will come to the government, and the government can use that money to help those who need more. Then we can increase social welfare. We can put more money into drainage. We can buy more tractors for farmers and harvesters. We can improve our health center. फ्री कुछ नहीं मिलता, कोई नहीं दे रहा, कहीं से लाना पड़ेगा. और कर्जा भी अगर आज ले लें, जो भी लद रहा है, वो भी भरना पड़ेगा. और नेक्स्ट ईयर से 400-500 मिलियन रिपेमेंट में जाएगा. तो हमारे ऊपर जो वर्तमान की स्थिति है वो समझना जरूरी है कि कहाँ पर है अभी हम, where we are and what we need to do to take the country forward. But one thing is very clear, that the government is focused on making sure. The good news is that the economy is growing very strongly. Tourism numbers have gone up. We have revised the growth forecast. There is a lot of confidence. A lot of countries are telling us they want to help us. India has just announced that it will build 100-bed super specialty hospital. जो अभी लोग पैसा भर के इंडिया जा रहे हैं, कहीं और जा रहे हैं, वो अब फिजी में होगा। भारत सरकार ने, प्राइम मिनिस्टर नरेंद्र मोदी अभी पापुआ न्यू गिनी में हमारे प्रधानमंत्री के साथ मिलकर उसकी घोषणा की है। तो बाहर से भी हमें बहुत समर्थन मिल रहा। जो नहीं आ रहा था वो अब आ रहा है, और अभी और बड़ा बड़ा योजनाओं पर भी हम काम कर रहे हैं। We are working on big, there is a lot of goodwill from our donors, from our international partners. India has just announced a 100-bed super specialty hospital as our first phase. So that's where we are. All I want to say is, don't worry about some of these lies that you probably heard. And we expect, you people work hard. सरकार आपके घर में खाना लाकर नहीं देता है। आप लोग काम करते हो, आप लोगों को सरकार की तरफ से सुविधा होना चाहिए, सपोर्ट होना चाहिए, बस वही लोग चाहते हैं। और कोई अगर ये सोच ले कि मैं उप प्रधानमंत्री हूँ, फाइनेंस मिनिस्टर हूँ, अगर मैं आपको कुछ यहाँ देता हूँ तो यही तो सब हो रहा था कि लोग सोचते हैं कि अपने जेब में से मिल रहा था आप लोगों को, आपका पैसा आपको मिल रहा था। तो थैंक यू, धन्यवाद। I will let you people speak and let me hear your views. Thank you. Vinaba Lebu.
Thank you for clearly explaining everything. I think so many doubts that they were there, the minds of the people are taken away. They were thinking about this VAT, things moving up. But I think we made it very clear. And first of all, thank you very much for that, sir. Now, say, as per how we can improve rice production in our area, like most of the things that I had jotted down here, you've already talked about it, but just missed a few points. Number one, say, like the whole infrastructure needs to be looked at. Like dredging and rain clearing has not been done, and due to that, like the land is deteriorating, it's becoming boggy and very hard to work on. So our special request is if that area could be looked at, say, I know it will be a big deal, it's not something small. And the other part, say, like if we look at it like stage 1, you'll know was well developed in the beginning. Stage 2 and stage 3 just came about, and like those areas need to be looked at. Tractor alone is not enough in those areas. There were bulldozers that were working in those areas, but I think somehow they're broken down and work has stopped. And there are so many farmers like who cannot till their land because tractor alone is not enough there. And then say like with the Fiji rice, there's another problem with the farmers, and that is like they have to sun dry the rice. Sun dry the rice before getting it to Fiji rice. And during like the main off season is a bit okay because we have sunshine. Main season, that's main season becomes very difficult. Like usually like there's a lot of rain here and we cannot dry the rice, and sometimes like rice harvested today has to stay there on the farm for 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, and due to that the quality of the rice goes down. So if somehow say like the mill could be upgraded, like dryers can be fixed here like the way it was happening in the beginning when Rewa rice was there, then I think things will become easier. So that is all from me, sir. Thank you very much for.
So we have discussed drainage. We know that that needs to be fixed. It's being neglected. I've had good discussion with the Ministry of Agriculture. The minister and his team will be seeing me next week. We'll have another discussion on the budget. And I have asked them to look at it very clearly, how we can quickly address some of these difficulties for the farmers. So drainage, we'll be providing some funding specifically for improving of drainage where the major rice production takes place. So that will be fixed. I know it's a big problem. Yeah. Somebody said I bought 1,000 acres in Dreketi, you know. But drainage is very important. It needs to be fixed. I am, Ashrit, what's this thing about sun dry?
So this is regarding the paddy. Once it's harvested, the farmers book their paddy to come to the mill. It's like we have capacity to buy at least 15 to 20 tons per day, but there are 13 or 14 harvesters operating in Vanuatu. So we cannot cater for all the paddy from the farm to the mill. On the moisture levels, our acceptable rate is 21% and below. So the reason is sometimes the paddy, once it's harvested, it's around 28 to 30%. So our dryers cannot cater for that. It gets stuck inside and it will break the filaments. So that's the reason why we have cut off at 21%. So that's the issue, sir.
For the farmers in Dreketi area, because they don't have a storage, during the wet season, with no cost, we get it stored or we can pick it from the farmers area and keep it over here until the weather improves. Now, we have also made a submission in our discussions with your council, whether the portable dryers could be given to the farmers in the communities. You manage it, you dry it and bring it over here. That's the thing we are looking at, because we also have a capacity, we need to dry it. And it takes time for us to dry that before we get it. The sun dry is obviously the top premium, and that's why we are offering you top premium price. But we need to walk through how best we can do these things. Thank you.
What's the lowest price that the farmers get?
We are in the process of reviewing. The lowest degraded price is $600, then it is $700, and the top premium last year, up till last year, was $800. We are trying to encourage them, and we have increased to $850 now. And it is not based on that. We had looked at 70% of the farmers get $850. They get them 56 now this year, or 56% get the top. But it will not happen to all of you over here, Dreketi, because you got a big quantum of rice. And that is what we are looking at, that we should get you portable dryers. You dry it in your communities and then bring it to us. That's a constraint that we have.
What's the cost of portable dryers?
$20,000, Ashrit, $21,000 for the portable dryers?
It will be around 25,000
Installed, 25,000. So if with the Agriculture Ministry, they got a plant and machinery allocation, we have spoken to the minister. Within that, if they can cater for these big areas, 5, 6 of them, will be highly appreciated.
By Monday, they'll be sending us a proposal as to how they want to do it. They will consult the farmers, all the stakeholders basically, before they come up with their recommendation.
Yeah, so let me ask another question. So 56% of the farmers, what about the tons of cane? What is the percentage of?
Say that 56% is not percent of farmers.
Yeah.
It's the total tonnage.
Okay.
We're talking about, yes.
Okay, 56% of the
Yes.
total tonnage
Yes, sir.
gets 850.
Yes, sir.
And the rest get the two different grades.
Yes, sir. That's right.
Yeah, okay, we need to change that. Just have, so there will be no 650, it will be all above 750 and 850. Yeah? Okay. Okay, I think we are resolving the issue now. Once the approval process is done, then we are looking at only two, and this other possibility of dryers. So that may help in getting your maximum price of 850. But I think the important thing is to raise production. Because even if if you're producing 5 tons and you increase it to another 3 or 4 tons, then even at 750, you still make more money. So economies of scale, if you produce more, you get more with the second grade price as well, depending on where you are. So, and we are looking at some subsidy for fertilizer and weedicide. That would help to increase production.
Let me clarify, the cost of production of rice is so high that we farmers are afraid a day will come when our initiative from rice cultivation might draw back. The cost of production is very, though we are paid $850, still the profit margin is very low. And say one of the factor is our variety. In the variety which we use in Fiji, per hectare we get 2 to 3 tons. Other countries they get to 10 to 14 tons. With that same cost of production, they get high profit margin. In Fiji, our varieties are 25, 30 years old now. No hybrid varieties are coming into Fiji. So our varieties must be brought in, new varieties, so that our production goes high in that same acreage of land, and the farmers get more profit, and the initiative of rice farming may boost to other farmers to say.
Thank you for raising that point. It's not our variety, it's our cultivation practice. In research, we have had 6 to 7 tons per hectare, that's more than 2 tons per acre. But currently what the practice is, because we are not putting any agro inputs, because we all know that price of fertilizer is high, hardly farmers around here or rice farmers put in fertilizer. And there are timely fertilizers, 2 or 3 times you have to put in urea and NPK and all. So we are not following proper agronomic practices for that to get the maximum production. That is our problem. It's not the variety. We have the varieties that are doing well, and the varieties like Sitara, Ista, these are new varieties, not so old as you said. And ball grain, yes, we are going away from ball grain. We have issues with the ball grain, and the research team is working on it. So we are encouraging farmers to change the variety to get away from ball grain for the time being. Thank you.
The price of your input was so high, right? Your fertilizer cost, your weedicide cost was so high as a normal commercial. So where you were supposed to use 3 bags of fertilizer, you were using only 1 input. That's why your production was low. We have requested the government to subsidize, which means now we encourage the farmers from your side. Whatever the input is required to basically subsidize, so that you can get the yield and we want the production. So we will encourage our people. When we get these subsidies on these things, we follow what is required.
See, what we are also discussing with Fiji Rice is if they can play a much more active role, in terms of managing, tractors, harvesters, fertilizer, weedicide, and see whether where the costs can be rationalized or subsidized. So that's something that they will look at. I'm not saying that they will be able to do everything, but that's one way to help the farmers. The other thing that probably is needed is research and extension, especially extension. I don't know whether agriculture officers still go and look at the farms and talk to farmers, which used to be the case things like giving them advice that you need fertilizer now.
जो रास्ता का प्रॉब्लम है और दूसरी ओर पानी का प्रॉब्लम है और तीसरा जो समस्या है वो इलेक्ट्रिसिटी का है। मेरे ख्याल से जो इलेक्ट्रिसिटी वो पास कर दिया है हमारे जो मेन रोड और भीतर वाले लावा नंबर 1 और लावा नंबर 2 में नहीं गया हुआ है, तो मैं आपसे ये दरख्वास्त करना चाहूँगा, जबकि आप हमारे इस इलाका में यहाँ पर आए हुए हैं, तो मैं सरकार से ही आग्रह करूँगा कि ज़रूर से ज़रूर हमारे जो समस्या है वाले लावा नंबर 2 में, जब कि पानी का जो बोहल की समस्या हो पिछले वर्ष वहाँ पर उसको एग्रीकल्चर द्वारा खोदा गया है और उस पे अभी तक किसी भी तरह का कुछ काम नहीं हुआ है। तो हमारे जो वहाँ पर सेटलमेंट में लगभग 15 घर हैं वो पानी को नीड कर रहे हैं, जबकि 2017 से हमारे जो बलेलावा जो पाइप की जो सुविधा था वो वहाँ पर अभी नहीं है। अभी सभी लोग कुआं पर निर्भर है। तो ज़रूर मैं जो वर्तमान की सरकार है उससे निवेदन करना चाहूँगा कि हमारे जो बलेलावा नंबर 2 और बलेलावा नंबर 1 का जो समस्या है उस पर ज़रूर ध्यान दें। और फिर मैं एग्रीकल्चर के तरफ से भी हम लोग ने कई बार वहाँ पर जो ड्रेनेज का हम लोग सुविधा मांगे थे और वो भी नहीं हुआ। तो मैं यही आग्रह करूँगा कि जो एग्रीकल्चर भी द्वारा हमारे वहाँ पर भी कुछ सहयोग पहुँचाया जाए। धन्यवाद।
हमारे कर्मचारी आपका जो समस्या है उसका नोट किए हैं, पानी और आई थिंक द मेन रोड हैज पावर, आई मीन राइट अप टू, so it's just getting into Balelawa. कितना किलोमीटर होगा वहाँ से? 3 किलोमीटर। हाँ, पानी कहाँ से भी आ रहा है?
पहला जो पानी आया था वो उधर नौका से आया था। अभी तो पानी का जो वहाँ के जो कम्युनिटी के और जो इतोपी जो यहाँ से हम लोग को पानी सोर्स मिला था,
हाँ,
उसको निकाल दिया गया है 2017 से। और
क्यों निकाल दिया गया? काहे निकाल दी सर?
वो कहते हैं कि हम लोग जैसे नाकानादांगी और बलेलावा नंबर 2 हम लोग दोनों मिलकर वहाँ पर पानी पीते थे, तो जो नाकानादांगी था वो निकाल दिया। और उस पर हम लोग काफ़ी बातचीत किए, मगर उस पर हम लोग के समस्या का कोई हल नहीं निकला और उस पर हम लोग $15,000 खर्च किए थे।
नहीं तो रिजर्व जो ना बंद हुई है,
रिजर्व बंद हो गया
है कि नहीं हुआ?
रिजर्व है, जहाँ से कैचमेंट से पानी धुआं वो निकाल दिया।
अच्छा, बोहल भाई जी बता रहे हैं कि बोहल एग्रीकल्चर, हाँ, तो बाकी काम आप लोग के करना था कि पंप और उस सब, तो आप लोगों ने किया नहीं?
नहीं, तो हम लोग नॉन गवर्नमेंट ऑर्गेनाइजेशन से हेल्प मांगे थे, अभी तक हुआ नहीं है वहाँ पर। तो हम यही आपसे दरख्वास्त करते हैं कि सरकार अगर इसमें कुछ मदद करना चाहे
तो कितना लगेगा पंप और बोहल? तो ऑलरेडी है वहाँ 4 ग्रेन। नोट अब yeah. ठीक है, हम नोट कर लेते हैं, हो सकता है। तो Or Matangali Allah, maybe the DO can check on that. If we can, yeah, and maybe we can improve the whole thing so that it saves the Matangali and all these other. Yeah. Thank you. Oh, there's been a lot of disaster in fixing the roads. We are looking at bringing PWD back. There will still be a significant amount of funding allocated to FRA. They will have to do a lot more. But we are very concerned about rural roads. And I've seen the state of rural roads that should have been maintained over the years, have not been maintained. This should be fixed. This road should be fixed as soon as possible. We will look at within the existing budget, if there is any possibility that we can at least, have the roads graded and, put some, that's possible. If not, then we expect something in the next budget. So, thank you for raising that. So at the moment, the buses don't go around the...
We do go, but many times we are unable to go.
Okay. Okay. There is a lot of land available on, which is not good for anything else but for livestock. So I don't know whether the act, maybe it says within the irrigation area, but these are people who have livestock in non-irrigated, areas. So we will have a look at it, Bhuvi, and see the act and why the decision was made. If it was promised to the farmers and it was approved, then they should be able to get that. So we will look at that. Acha?
Children have been graduated from their tertiary education like teachers, some agriculture sector, but they haven't been given a job since past some 1 year, some 2 years. That is still waiting for their posting to be done.
Yeah, I think those problems might be sorting itself out because obviously after COVID, things were reduced. We're picking things up. We're also losing a lot of people. So I'm assuming that all those that were looking for jobs would find jobs. But if there are specific people in the village, gaon mein, who have not found jobs, I'm sure they will soon, because there is a lot of replacement that's needed, for teachers, for other, agriculture, civil service as well. We are losing people. So, yeah.